Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Carolina Panthers Talk, brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram, coming at you once again here on the U to the Tube. So, it's time. It's time. It's time. It's time. Ladies and gentlemen, Carolina Panther fans, it is time to preview Week 1 of the Carolina Panthers 2021 regular season. Now, first game will be this Sunday in Charlotte. It's a home game, and they will be opening against the New York Jets. So, let's dive into this matchup and I want to give my thoughts on this. I want to give my keys to success and just really look at this matchup. So, on ESPN.com, which I'll provide the links to everything in the description box. So, the matchup predictor, 65.7% chance that Carolina wins, 34% chance that the Jets win, and a 0.3% chance of a tie. Something to take note of that they have on the injury report. So let's take a look at the injury report. So apparently they have Jamison Crowder, wide receiver for the Jets. He's going to be out. They got Sherrod Nesman, safety, who's questionable, and LaMichael Perrine. I don't know if I said that correctly, but running back, he's questionable. That's what they have listed on ESPN. And then, of course, for Carolina Panthers, they got John Miller, guard, that will be out due to him being on the COVID list. And Shi Smith, wide receiver, they have listed as questionable, which already they do already plan on Shi Smith being out for this first game. The prediction is pretty much that he'll be out for 2 to 3 weeks. So hopefully not any longer than 3 weeks, because Shi Smith, until he got hurt, was doing great in preseason. So I know that he's going to be missed. He's definitely going to be missed, and I believe when he comes back, he'll really be able to add to this wide receiver core. So just hoping that he can recover ASAP, and hopefully John Miller will be able to play in the next game in week 2. But let's go ahead and look at this matchup. I mean, looking at the Jets, of course, this will be Zach Wilson's debut, his first ever regular season NFL start. Now, I'll say this. I don't think we should sleep on Zach Wilson. Despite him being a rookie, it wouldn't surprise me if he ended up throwing between 250 and 300 yards passing. And who knows, he could get a pair of touchdowns in this game. I'm not going to sleep on Zach Wilson. He might be a rookie, but he's a rookie quarterback that a lot of people have had a lot of eyes on, just as much as Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields. I do believe Zach Wilson, don't sleep on him. Don't sleep on him. So this is something got to take seriously. Although I still stand strongly by my previous words of, we really have no business losing this game, and I'll explain why. Now, of course, a couple of things to look out for. They do, have Zach Wilson. They have Tevin Coleman as a running back. Of course, Tevin Coleman, he's played with the Falcons before, so somebody I feel like should keep an eye on. Braxton Barrios, mainly because he's a Raleigh, North Carolina native. My brother's a big fan of him, so we'll see how much action he gets, especially with Jamison Crowder being out. But that's just a little specific one that I'm keeping my eye on as much as my brother's, because he's a Raleigh, North Carolina native that my brother had coached when he was in Little League. So they go way back. But as far as their offensive line, I mean, they do have Greg Van Roten, who used to play for the Carolina Panthers. They did also draft Elijah Vera Tucker, but I'm not overly concerned with their O line. I'm not, to be honest with you. Now on defense, I mean, the only real potential threats I can see on defense are defensive tackle Sheldon Rankins, defensive tackle Quinnen Williams. So up the middle might be a little difficult for Carolina's offensive line. So that does have me a little bit of concern. And then, I mean, I've heard good and bad things about C.J. Mosley, so at linebacker. So I have to see, what happens with him. And then nobody really in the secondary, me personally, nobody really in the secondary really stands out to me as a big threat. I could be wrong, but I don't really see anybody on their secondary that really poses a threat. But that's my thoughts on this Jets team in a nutshell. But my concerns, I'll voice my concerns with this game, and then I'll get into why I feel like this should be a win. Main concerns, okay, with offense, Carolina's offense. The two main concerns are Sam Darnold and the offensive line. Now, starting with the offensive line. So, if I look at the Carolina Panthers depth chart, it looks like starting out this regular season with this first game, it's going to be, of course, Matt Paradis at center, Taylor Moton at right tackle, Dennis Daly at right guard, which was John Miller, but John Miller's out for this game, so it's going to be Dennis Daly. Pat Elflein at left guard, Cameron Irving at left tackle. Now, I know there's been a lot that have said, not so good things about Cameron Irving and Pat Elflein on this offensive line. There's a lot of talk about maybe it'd be better if Deontay Brown and Brady Christensen was on that offensive line, that starting offensive line, but we'll have to see how this holds up. And I really feel like this is going to either strengthen or just completely bust the offense. I do believe Christian McCaffrey will get his. I believe the receivers will get theirs. I mean, we still got a strong receiving core in DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, and now adding Terrace Marshall Jr. into the mix that had a great preseason. Like, I think the receiving core will be fine. But main concern is the offensive line. Will they be able to gel and have good chemistry and really sharpen on the run blocking and the pass blocking? The run blocking was very iffy from what I saw in the preseason. The pass blocking, I don't think was too bad. I really don't think was too bad. But you have to also factor in who they were going up against. Not against a lot of starting teams. But now with this being a regular season, they're going up against number ones. So, does give me some concern. But I feel like as long as this offensive line, if they can just gel and just especially protect the middle, I think the offense will come. I think the offense will come. But the O-line, I feel like it's really going to start with them. They're going to have to hold it together, be consistent on the run and pass blocking, and give Sam Darnold plenty of time. Switching gears to Sam Darnold. As I've said before, Sam Darnold is in a position now where he has better weapons, completely different team, completely different coaching staff that is willing to bank and take a chance on him. The main thing with Sam Darnold is taking care of the football and making good decisions. If he can do that, like, I'm not expecting to, and this is just me being honest, I'm not expecting him to have like a 3,000, 4,000 yard passing season. I'm not. I hope I'm wrong, but that's just, it's hard for me to expect that. But I feel like as long as he limits the turnovers as much as possible, zero turnovers, would be best. But as long as Sam Darnold takes care of the football, that's my main thing. Take care of the football. Make the right decisions, make the good throws. And honestly, the offense will be fine, even if they don't put up gigantic numbers. And especially if he has time with the offensive line, oh, that's going to make it even easier. But main thing for Sam Darnold, don't turn the ball over. Make the smart decisions, don't turn the ball over. I feel like as long as he does that, he will be fine. The offense should be fine. And then the other two concerns on the offense, so there's four total that I have. Offensive line, Sam Darnold, just how's he going to do? Third concern that I have is third down conversions. To put it bluntly, Carolina sucks with third down conversions. They don't have a great percentage of efficiency. And it's been that way for a couple of years, to be honest with you. So Carolina has got to work on keeping the drives alive on offense by converting third downs. That's something that they struggle on. They need to really get on a positive page and convert these third downs consistently. Of course, if you don't have to, get to a third down, that's always best. But seriously, got to convert these third downs. That's so important. So important. And then number 4, red zone. And a lot of this is going to be on Joe Brady. There is no reason why we shouldn't be able to get in the end zone each time we get into the red zone. And this has been an issue for the past 2 seasons with Carolina. This team has to get in the red zone. Or excuse me, has to get into the end zone, especially when they are in the red zone. This terrible red zone efficiency it's not going to cut it. It's not going to cut it. They need to come out this season, starting with this first game, really punching the ball into the end zone as much as possible. Because I really feel like with the talent they have on offense, and especially with what they had been able to do last season, getting the ball into the red zone, there is no reason why they can't capitalize each time they get in the red zone with the offense that they have. So, those are my main concerns on offense. On defense, I don't really have that many concerns for the Carolina Panthers defense. I know that J.C. Horn is going to be tested, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be tested early, being opposite side of Dante Jackson, because you have to remember, A.J. Bouye will be out these first 2 games serving his suspension. This is a young secondary, and I believe they're going to be tested. I think they're going to be tested. So That's that's a concern, but it's a minor concern. And then just getting pressure on Zach Wilson. I really believe that the D line for Carolina should be able to get constant pressure. And I hope that Phil Snow does a great job of really dialing up blitzes at the right times and really being aggressive. Make Zach Wilson uncomfortable as much as possible. This is what I'm hoping. So, but overall, I really feel like this should be a game that the Panthers shouldn't have much of an issue winning. And I'm predicting a 30-14 Carolina. 30-14 Carolina. Because I honestly believe we really have no business losing this game. I feel like the Carolina defense is strong enough that they should be able to get the ball back into the hands of the Carolina offense consistently and give the offense an opportunity to eat and clean their plates. I'm not super worried about the Jets O line. Now, like I said, Zach Wilson, I'm sure he is going to get his. Jets defense, I'm not really too afraid of. Like I said, if anything, if the offensive line just doesn't do a good job, then that's really going to show. That's really, really going to show, and it's going to make the Jets defense really look dangerous. And I also understand they have a different coach now, so that's another thing. They don't have Adam Gase. They have was it Robert Saleh? But yeah, for this to be their first game, really Carolina, this should be a win. This hands down should be a win. I really have no other reason to believe that they'll fall apart. And if they do fall apart, then it's really going to be embarrassing and it's going to look really bad going into the season. Because you got to remember, after this game, they will have their first division game against the Saints in week 2. And if I remember correctly, Carolina the last two or three, no, the last 3 seasons, if I remember correctly, have lost the opening game. So, really, really need to take this seriously, but if everybody just does their jobs, if the offensive line does their job, consistent blocking and protection of Sam Darnold, if Sam Darnold takes care of the football, feeds the receivers, feeds McCaffrey, makes the right decisions, because like I said, McCaffrey is going to get his. I believe solely he's going to get his. But if Sam Darnold can make the good decisions and not turn over the ball, offense should be able to put points on the board pretty consistently, especially in this game. Defense, I think the defense is good enough that they will be able to consistently get the ball out of the Jets offense and back into the Panthers offense as much as possible and give them plenty of opportunities. So, yeah, I stand by a 30-14 prediction with Carolina coming on top with the victory. Now, it'll really be interesting to see what happens. Realistically, it'll be interesting to see what happens in these first 3 games with the Panthers' offensive line. Whether they're able to gel, and whether they end up breaking down. Now, I'm sure we'll probably may have John Miller back in the starting lineup as early as week 2, but I'm really going to be keeping an eye on this offensive line at least for the first 3 games to really see how they do and where they're at by that time, to see if there's any serious changes that need to be made. I'm going to keep my head up about it, but it's something I'm going to keep an eye on. Something I'm honestly going to keep an eye on. But anyway, everything goes well. This week 1 should be a victory for the Panthers over the Jets. But anyway, that's all that I have. Let me know what you guys think. What do y'all think the score will be? What's your score prediction? What do you think the keys are to the Panthers winning this game against the Jets? What do you feel like they need to do? What are your biggest concerns going into this game, whether it's about the Panthers or about the Jets? What are your biggest concerns? But let me know what y'all think. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss a video. And thank you so much for watching. This is Blitzball champ Jason Ingram with another episode of Carolina Panthers Talk, previewing week 1 of the 2021 Carolina Panthers regular season as they open up at home in Charlotte, Bank of America Stadium, against the New York Jets. Hope everybody's enjoyed this video and hope everybody enjoys the game. Take care. Catch y'all later.